Greetings Robloxians, my name is Simplified Phalanx, and today we're going to be learning how to build mechs, guns, and vehicles in Roblox Studio 2016. Today we're going to specifically be making a mech. This beast, crazy thing, alright? Specifically we're going to start by making the foot, and we're going to build off of that. So, before we start building anything in Roblox Studio, we need to know generally, well, how do you do it? So, how do you build in Roblox Studio? Simple. You click on the Model tab. You can also build from the Home tab, but the Model tab has all the stuff you need. It is the OG. So, we can insert 4 different types of parts. Blocks, spheres, wedges, and cylinders. As you can see, I've got them all laid out right here, and we're going to start right now building stuff. So how do we move stuff around? Well, there are 4 ways we can do it. We can use the select tool, which lets us move it around all the way wherever we want, you know. And we also have the move it up and down. We also have scale right there. We can resize it to our heart's content. Rotate. We can rotate it in all 3 planes. So there. And if we use select, we can get it out of this weird bit right here. Now, if we press R on our keyboard, by default, it will rotate. And if we press T, it will turn. So there we go. That's all of that. Then we also have transform, which is essentially, it's more advanced. It lets you do specifically 90 degrees, 65 degrees, 45 degrees, rotation, move it. You can also move the part up. And we can also do resize. So essentially transform is all of these. Now this is really complicated. It's advanced stuff. It's very fun, but it's not needed. You don't need to use transform. Not everyone uses transform. I don't personally use transform that often. I still do for some things that it's good for, just not as often. Alright, so let's get into making the mech foot. So first of all, if you right click on a brick, you'll see it brings up copy, cut, copy, duplicate, and all this good stuff. So if we hit duplicate, that will duplicate the part, and now it's right exactly inside of itself. So if you move it, there you go, it duplicates it 1 time. If you click copy and then paste, you can see it pastes it directly on top. So that's how that works. We're going to quickly copy and paste that brick, move it over here, and we're going to start building. Oh, whoops-a-daisy there. We're going to scale this to 1/5. It's about right. We're then going to elongate this a little bit, so we want to get a good base platform. That looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit longer. I think that's good. Alright, so now we're going to start using some of these tools that we have, these great tools. So first of all, what we are going to be doing here is we're going to be looking at this mech. So what does this mech have? It has white armor, it has some gray bits, which look like the structural bits for it, and it also has these yellow accents. Now, I don't know why these yellow accents aren't more around the mech. Our mech is going to be using, it's not going to be using tons of yellow accents, but it's going to be using some because it looks cool, you know? Accents are cool. So we're going to move this brick up, and we're going to click on Surface, Smooth. So we're going to make it nice and smooth because obviously we do not see a little R studs on the mech, and that'll just make it look kind of weird. So now we've gotten rid of those awful things. We're going to place the brick back down, and now we're going to start building. So first of all, the bottom of any mech boot or stuff, or whatever you like to call it, is going to be treads. We're going to want to have treads. So we're going to build the treads first, obviously. Move the brick there. We're going to duplicate it. Duplicate, 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 duplicate. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we can go 7. I think 7's a good point to stop. Alright, we're going to connect these bricks together. using a brick on the side. As you can see right there, those are all the joins. So they'll be joined together later on. Okay, gonna, oops, a daisy, Control D. Control D is the shortcut for duplicate, Control D. All the shortcuts are right there, alrighty. So that looks pretty good, looks pretty good to me. For a, it looks kind of like a horizontal ladder. Kind of weird. So we're gonna take these wedges, duplicate. I'm gonna move that in here. And now this is where the move tool is good for moving it into kind of awkward places. Here we go. Select that, drag it down. We're gonna move this all the way over here. We're gonna duplicate it right there. Rotate. I'm gonna rotate it right there. And now we're gonna move this, duplicate it up. Oh, whoops, don't know what I did there. I think I hit Control F. Yep, Control F is zoom to. It zooms in on whatever part you have selected. Alright, duplicate. No, I wonder, did I duplicate this one twice? Nope. That's the one downside of duplicate. You don't know how many times you duplicated it, so you could have overlapping parts, which are never good. There we go. Rotate that. Move. Duplicate. 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 And one more little duplicate. Alright, so I'm going to be talking a bit about kind of design and where I'm going along with this. Okay. So we're going to then duplicate again. My god, duplicate, my favorite thing to do today. We're going to scale this 3. We're going to move this to the side. Now we're going to rotate it around. And so what I'm trying to do here is I'm really trying to make a nice, good rubber base for what we're going to be doing later. Because I think that is probably the best thing to do. Maybe the best, maybe not the best. A nice thick rubber toe. Think that, no, we're going to go here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, duplicate. So I'm trying to make the rubber. I know it doesn't really look like rubber right now, but we're gonna change the color of it shortly, so that way it looks nicer. All right, here we go. Right there. Oop. Control Z. Right here is where we can save some space by just right there. That is fine. So that way we don't have to have this big awkward thing. There we go. Oh! Let's see, what did I derp? There we go, that's where I derped. Okay, move that back, slide that into place. And I guess we can do it here too. Alright, duplicate, place that in, duplicate, rotate, resize that. 1, 2, 1. And we plop that into place, and now we have a fairly well-rounded thing. I'm just gonna copy. Whoop. Almost forgot about these treads. We can select, if we want to select 2 things at the same time, we hold down Shift, and there we go. We duplicate those, bring them up. There we go. Now we can just, actually I don't want to do that. Okay, let's see. Gonna go right there, duplicate, move them up, move these bricks up. I'm just doing this so I can keep kind of the color, because now we're gonna select these, and we're gonna change the color to black, like rubber should. Now we're gonna take these top pieces and place them on top. There we go. Actually, let's not do that. Let's leave them up there. We're gonna take this first piece. Alright, we're gonna push that back a bit. Now we're going to go to scale. There we go. Resize it across, because now we're going to start making the actual, I guess, the actual foot itself. I know, kind of crazy, making the foot itself. Duplicate. Alright. We're going to take that piece. We're going to actually just directly drag it and drop it into place there. Alright, we're gonna drag that one, drop it into place as well. Duplicate. Actually, I believe this one should be back one more. There we go. So that looks kind of like, it's kind of bulging out there. Maybe I need to emphasize that a little more. That looks good. Looks good right there. Okay. We're going to take these parts right here. We're going to select them all just by holding down that shift. And we're going to duplicate those. Then we're going to rotate them around 180. And then we're going to move them to the other side. And there she blows. Looks pretty good. Now we're going to do this. This bit we're going to duplicate again. Scale. Move that across. Duplicate. There. Duplicate. Okay. So that looks nice and even. On the toe. Maybe expand the toe a little bit. Nah, it'll be fine. Alright, so the whole point of this is really just to get it so that way everything is nice and smooth, because we don't want any jagged edges, because as you can see here, everything looks fairly smooth. And that's also kind of not how things typically work. Things aren't just jagged, and when they are, it's not for no reason. Yep. Gonna move that back into place. Scale that by 2. 1, 2 up even more. 1, 2. Actually, gonna move this down 2. Move it across. Duplicate. There we go. I think right in there. Duplicate. And we move that across. I think that right there may be where we're gonna put our yellow accent. There we go. It's a nice good yellow. I like that yellow color. Alright, so we're going to duplicate that brick. Bring it across. I think you guys get the point of the whole duplicate, so I'm going to stop that now. Although, know that whenever I'm doing this, I am, duplicating parts and stuff. Alright, so kind of going with what we do when we're building mechs in Roblox. I'll give you guys some pointers on how to do that. Kind of on the design aspect. And one of the things when you're making mechs especially, although this goes for other things as well, but when you're making mechs, you really have to be careful about proportions, because mechs kind of look closer to like what the human body is, and the human eye is very sensitive to, well, how we're making it look like, how we're making this stuff look. Okay, can I fix this real quick? Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, so the human eye is a lot more sensitive to kind of things that it perceives as human kind of looking. So that's why, ooh, I forgot this brick on the other side. Lol. So that's why when you're making a mech, you want to really focus on proportions a bit more. Now, what are proportions? Proportions are just like, if the foot, you don't want the feet to be too skinny, because then it'll look like the mech's gonna fall over. And you don't want it to be so wide that it just looks flat out ridiculous, You want to keep everything in moderation, I guess you can say. So that's pretty good there. Looks pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Move that around. Close it off. Move that around over here. Can I place it in? Yep, there we go. Pretty good. I'm going to duplicate that. Drag it, yeah. So mechs, you really want to focus on proportions. Another good thing to remember while you're building is you don't want to have what you're building look kind of too weird and too weird. No, it doesn't. You don't want to have when you're building awkward angles. Now, what is an awkward angle? Like you see here, that is a very awkward angle. That doesn't look weird. That looks weird. That doesn't look right. Doesn't look normal, Actually, I want this to have more of a drastic angle here. And what I'm trying to do here with the whole drastic angle and stuff on the back is that because that's kind of where the heel is, and the heel is kind of rounded at the back. So I kind of want to make it look like it's having at a more of a steep angle. Let's move this over finally to move, then back to scale. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. Actually, this toe looks a little bit too much. A little too. You know? There we go. Duplicate that. I think elongate it a little bit. Duplicate, elongate. Because really, we want the weight centered right there. So that's where the bearing and stuff, the bearings and all the good stuff, where the ankle is going to be holding on to. This is the front of the foot, that's the heel of the foot, and right here is where the ankle and the shin bone should be extending upwards. So that's why I kind of want to sweep everything back in the front and make everything jagged in the back. Well, not jagged. I want to have a high angle going farther vertical than horizontal. Cool beans. Everything here looks... I like that angle. We're going to duplicate the yellow a little bit there. Duplicate the yellow. Actually, I think... right here. I'm going to break this apart. Duplicate. Oh, that is a really bad idea. Z. And we're going to use the move tool. Duplicate. Size. Make it yellow. There we go. Okay. I don't like how this looks. This looks too generic, you know? Looks a little bit too much like it's just normal. There we go. That makes it protrude a bit, so it's not flush with the side there, because that'll just make it kind of weird. Duplicate. We're going to make this come to the side. Maybe up? Yeah, I think that's fine. To the side there. Oh, whoops. Forgot I hadn't done that side yet. Duplicate. Duplicate on the other side. Actually, with this, I kind of want to make it look... Nah, it really needs to be that way. Duplicate. 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 There we go. Alright, so I'm really trying to get this bulb kind of look on the back there and more of a sloped in the front. So we can kind of get the heel and the toe area on what a human it would be. Alrighty. Now, you can also build in the build mode in Roblox, but in order to do that, there's some things you gotta set up and stuff, so that way you're not using the default build tools, because the default build tools in Roblox, when you're in build mode, they really suck. They suck a lot. You want to be using some other better tools. We're going to go over all that fun stuff in later videos. So, keep tuned, you know. Well, not shameless self-promotion there. I am so sorry. Let's kind of move this one in here. Drop it into place. There we go. That is a nice looking foot. Maybe one of the things we can do here is we can take a cylinder. Duplicate. We can put kind of a cylinder on the side. I don't know why. Why sometimes I like to put a cylinder on the side of the foot. It just kind of looks good. Oh yeah, actually I do know why. What am I talking about? The reason why the reason why I like to put a cylinder right there, right in between, is because that's where the joint between the heel and the toe would be. Let's move this right here. Alright, so you can see the stud. This moves it by one stud, this moves it by fifth stud, this moves it by the smallest increment possible. There we go. Anyway, so like I was saying before, is that would be where, kinda, in the middle of the foot, where the arch would be. So that's kinda why I like to put that there. Look like there's a lot of weird internal stuff going on, when really, there isn't. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's just slide this piece right over. Nope, gonna switch it back to one stud because we no longer need that. And now we're fine. So now we're going to select this whole side. This whole side over here. Yep, this whole side. I'm going to select every single piece of it. And we're going to drag it over to the other side. Duplicate and move. Alright, this part, we're going to need to move that away. We're going to move that into place. We're going to rotate this. Probably would have been faster maybe just to hand drop in the parts one by one. Don't know. It's a possibility. Oop, this is not right. Whoopsie. I forgot that everything is reversed. Okay. I'm going to drop this one into the side. There we go. That looks symmetrical, or at least more so. And let's see. There we go. Okay. Got that selected. Another one of these dull pieces. Dropped that in. Now we drop this in. Now we gotta change it back to 1/5 stud. We're gonna place that one in very carefully. There we go. That is one nice foot. Let's just bring it up here. And now we no longer need these pieces, so we'll just get rid of them. That's one nice foot. Now we're gonna do the coloring. Now if you see over here, the armor looks kind of white, so we're gonna change the side panels here to white. Get just into the select. We're gonna change that into white because we want it to look like it has some armor on the foot. Because this is a battle mech, it's gonna be going into battle. You know, you're gonna want to keep it well armored, well protected. Cool. I don't want to select the cylinder though. I just want to select the brick behind it. Gotta be very careful about that. Alright, so now we're gonna color it white. There we go. Now everything we had selected has turned white, thankfully. And let's change this color too. This would probably be more like the structural color. Actually, no. I think this would be more like the structural color. Yeah, it probably would be more like the structural color. Let's see if we can... Actually, no. No. Because that's going to make it look weird when we build the rest of the stuff. The colors aren't going to really match. Colors have a lot to do with it when you're making anything on Roblox. Colors definitely play a role in how it appears, really. Color that. Oh, we forgot to color this part white. Color white. Oh, we did? Did we really? I refuse to believe that. Nope, that's definitely white. Oh well, my eyes are just playing tricks on me. Okay. Everything looks good. Yep, this looks kind of weird in the back, so I'm going to change that. There we go. Let's change that to a different type of gray. Oh, and we almost forgot here. We're going to change that one to a different type of gray as well, to make those pop out. Alright, and now we're going to reduce the lag of it by unioning parts of it, and it's also going to make it look a whole lot nicer. So let's start pulling this apart piece by piece and block by block with the move tool. Make sure it's set to one stud here. We're going to slide it to the side, both of the sides here. There we go. Slide it apart. Slide that off. Slide that off. I'm gonna move this to the side as well. Actually, technically this part should be colored gray. There we go. Color it gray. Although no one's gonna really see it anyway, so, you know. But I guess for peace of mind and for OCD, might as well change it. Cool. Alright, everything seems to be working out so far. So far, so good, guys. Right, So this is kinda, we're gonna go about selecting the rest of these bricks. We're gonna pull all of that back. Yep, looks like we missed a couple. We missed a few. Here. Oh no, this one belongs to that. And that one does that. Let's move that over there. Okay. But this one's the wrong color, so we gotta recolor that one back. And that's another good thing about unioning everything together. When you pull it all apart, you don't have to pull it all apart, mind you, but when you do, you can really see if you fucked up somewhere. Alrighty. Move that up. Alright, and we're gonna move this back armor to the back. Oh, come on now. Careful. To the back. There we go. Now we're going to start selecting and then unioning. First, we're going to union this bad boy. Actually, we don't need a duplicate there of parts. There's really no point. It adds unneeded strain to the union tool. Poor union tool. We're just going to select all the parts here. Okay. There we go. Selected them all. And now we're going to go right over here. If I expand Roblox up a bit, it'll have it to look like that. But since I kind of want to look at the mech that we're making too. So here we have the union. That's going to fuse the parts together into a single brick. And that's what it does. It looks so nice and so smooth when you do it. And now, when I click on it, it's just one big brick. Alright. So we're going to do this to the other ones as well. Union. This big thing. Actually, we're just going to do that to it. There we go. Unioned. Union the side. Union. Union this side. Union. And this side. Okay. Unioned. There we go. Now we're gonna slide all these pieces together. Put that in. Oh my god, I almost forgot these pieces up here. Unioned. There we go. I like to separately... Whoa! What's going on here? Union tool's a bit funky. And one of the ways to debug that is just to move everything around again. Alright. Union. There we go. Nope. Union. There we go. Select them both. Drop them down into the slot. And now we drop this right down. There we go. And we union the armor, because of course I forgot to do that. Union. Move that into place. Move the side into place. Alrighty. Move that side in. And this side. And around the back we have the armor. We have the side armor. Side armor. There we go. Got the little knob there. Knob there. And there we go. Now, we can leave it like this and it'll be fine. Everything will be okay. But I like to change its material because I don't really like plastic that much. We're going to change it to metal. And now it kind of makes everything look a little darker. I like it. Just a stylistic choice on my point. And then there we go. Alright, so we have it done. So let me just move this down to the bottom. There we go. Alright. And we are done. Alright, so we just finished off building the foot of this mech right here, and we'll be building the rest of it in a later video. Now then, roll the outro! Hello guys, this is the Ends Pod. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. As always, this has been Simplified Phalanx. Hope to see you soon.